to do. It looks like Minpoike will be playing the Paladin going into this, with No Lifer, of course, on the Mage, and Zuniaki playing that Shadow Priest. So they are going with the Paladin God comp in here. They will be matching up against Reawakened, who is playing exactly as we've been saying. That's going to be that Holy Paladin, that Death Knight, and that Feral Druid. I'm just really curious to see what Reawakened does in this matchup, because like I said, I have not seen a lot of play out of this comp.
Yeah, and I do apologize. The team names are wrong. We'll get that fixed for the next matchup. But right out of the gate, of course, let's see how No Lifer and Zuniaki can handle this, because, again, it is going to be lots of burst right from the start, as Zuniaki is going to try to get some dots out right from the start.
Yeah, No Lifer pushing in, trying to break them out of stealth. Doesn't want Fridurus to actually get a good opener, so he's just spamming out that blizzard right away. But Cervantes getting that freedom, getting mounting in, actually gets sheeped off by No Lifer. Very well done by him, not going to let him connect right away onto, I believe they're on Minpoike, so starting off on him really fast, gets caught into that root as well. No Lifer pops that Icy Veins. You can see that by the red around his frame. Cervantes also has his cooldowns up, and Fridurus getting so low right away. Save of the Light already proccing onto him, but Minpoike at the same time taking so much damage. Save of the Light, Avenging Wrath comes crashing onto him, and this is a pretty good start for 3 languages.
It is, as of course, but look at that. The Feral had to run away, play way defensively, get out of there, which leaves some time for Reawakened to catch back up.
Yeah, there were a lot of cooldowns used out of Minpoike there, but he does still have his Divine Shield and his Trinket, so he's going to be fine for quite some time, whereas on the other side, Cavi has already had to use his Divine Shield. Is holding onto his Trinket for now, and he may have to use it here because Fridurus is getting so low, but it actually looks like he's going to go ahead and hold through that. The triple fear does come out. Cavi still caught into that fear, but they're trying to put some damage into Minpoike right now. They really want to try to force that bubble out of him, and there it is. They are going to get the bubble out of Minpoike.
It was actually incredible how long Fridurus held this incarnation for. And it is going to fade right there, and they really didn't make anything happen with it. They did get a couple trinkets out of both No Lifer and Zuniaki, however.
Yeah, Minpoike going to have that Avenging Wrath up, so when he needs the additional healing, we will have that available. He has his Trinket up as well. He is getting a little bit low, though, down to 50%. The Deep Sheep, though, onto Cavi. Cervantes has those offensive cooldowns up, but this is going to be very big trouble for Fridurus, who gets caught into that full disarm. We could see a Hodge out of it, and this could just be the game. The Save by the Light proccing. Cavi still caught into that Polymorph, trying to get some heals out. Survival Instincts comes out by Fridurus, going to be taking less damage, but Minpoike getting so low, 20% HP, has no more cooldowns. The Divine Protection comes out, going to be taking a little bit less damage from that. No Lifer doing everything he can to keep him up, throwing out those sheeps, and it looks like Minpoike is down to 10%, and what an upset in the first game. 3 languages taking the first round, taking down Minpoike, and I can't believe it.
Yeah, I want to call out one really solid move that I saw out of Cavi there. It actually looks like Reawakened might be trying to turn this around. With Cavi caught into that Polymorph, he may be in some trouble here, but no, it looks like they are going to be able to finish this game off, and this will be the first game going to 3 languages. But yeah, I wanted to point out one really important move that Cavi made there. He was stuck in...
And as the gates are going to open up, we're going to follow Cervantes out of the start because he really made a lot of things happen, you know, using that cooldown, that Pillar of Frost constantly. Now, one of the new features about this UI is, like we were saying, if you see a unit frame on fire, that means that they have used one of their offensive cooldowns, so you can tell when he's using that Pillar of Frost. So he is going to try to initiate again. Same thing as last time. He gets polyed right away, but it gets dispelled out as he is going to get sheeped also, as it looks like not too many cooldowns used just quite yet. Of course, that Deep Freeze was going to stop a bit, but look at how far back they're pushing Minpoike already. Yeah, No Lifer throwing out that Icy Veins right away. He did an excellent job diffusing that in the opener, but Fridurus caught into that full disarm, getting very low, down to 40% HP. Cavi caught into that Polymorph. Save of the Light is going to proc. He's going to get some big heals, though. Fridurus also has his Berserk Incarnation up right now, going to be throwing out a lot of damage. Zuniaki caught into a Pounce. He looks like he is the main target right now, down to 50% HP. Minpoike has his Avenging Wrath up. He's probably going to be able to top off Zuniaki, but they've already forced so many cooldowns. Yeah. Not only that, the Death Knight and the Feral were splitting at that point. We saw some damage onto Minpoike, but Zuni just getting spiked down by that Feral.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of spreading the pressure, which can be tough. Obviously, the Paladin does have the Beacon of Light available, but if he still has to be able to predict where that damage is going, so it can be tough to deal with that. Now Minpoike with his Avenging Wrath active, but he's getting caught into so many stuns right now. Zuniaki caught in stuns as well. He's going to go ahead and Trinket right out of that. Minpoike now just trying to get away from this damage and doing a decent job at the moment, but Cervantes is just relentless. He is just all over Minpoike right now. Minpoike, of course, does still have all of his defensive cooldowns available to him, so he should be fine for now. They're just really trying to bait those out. There goes the execution sentence. That actually goes on to Cervantes, though, because that's actually came out of Cavi. So seriously, no defensive cooldowns used out of Minpoike right there. That is amazing.
He actually had to use his bubble. I think the UI is messed up at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cervantes. I believe his Pillar of Frost just faded. He is still the target of choice, and I like what they're doing. I like what No Lifer and Zuni are doing. They're switching between the two DPS for making sure they both have to play defensive, trying to keep Minpoike alive as much as possible. Cervantes is going to use that anti-magic shell. He's going to be completely fine at the moment. Cavi, though, caught into that full fear. It could be scary if he gets any follow-up CC on him. Cavi is going to go down, and Reawakened is going to tie it up 1-1.
All right, and that's what can happen. You know, that Holy Paladin got this damage from both the Mage and the Shadow Priest as the gates are about to open. Follow again. I think Cervantes out of the gate was great last time. He just does so much damage as he's trying to find his target. It looks like actually he's going to initiate by himself. This is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, Minpoike, as you can see, is standing as far away as possible. No Lifer trying to control him a bit, like we saw in the first two games. Icy Veins, though, coming out right away. The full sheep onto Cavi. Cervantes is going to use that anti-magic shell to sort of diffuse their opener as well as pop that Lichborn. He does have his offensive cooldowns popped right now, trying to connect onto Minpoike, but No Lifer and Zuni doing such a good job.
Yeah, look, it's we saw the grip onto Zuniaki to pull him down a little bit, as it looks like we are going to get some damage out onto Cervantes yet again. They're forcing him back a little bit. That Icebound Fortitude and needing to switch into Blood Presence.
Wow, he's actually dipping super low right now. That Saved by the Light proc will come in there and give Cavi a little bit of extra time to throw some heals onto him, but Three Languages not being able to put out the pressure that they really want to here. Minpoike is actually, like, he's gotten a little bit low from time to time. Right now he could be in trouble. The Trinket and the Execution Sentence coming out to try and keep him topped off, and Cervantes actually having to run all the way around over here just to try and get back up into the action. Great job by Minpoike kiting Cervantes, getting away, getting himself out to a safe location, and recognizing, okay, I need to move right now because otherwise I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they broke up the cooldown usage, which is really important. Of course, we do see that the Incarnation is up on Fridoris right now, but Cervantes had to run during that, which is huge.
Yeah, he popped his Pillar of Frost, so he actually got the grip on Minpoike too. Minpoike has no Save of the Light. He does have a bop available if he needs it. Oh, sorry, Save of the Light just proc there. Down to 30% HP though, has to use that bubble, getting a little bit too low. And Fridoris, Cervantes, and Cray actually doing a very, very good job right now. If we look at Minpoike's cooldowns, all he really has left is Stone Form and a few bops. So the next time Strangulate is up, which is in a couple seconds for Cervantes, Minpoike will have that available.
Looks like they are going to switch onto Zuni. No, it looks like actually they're going to control him a little bit. That Cyclone coming out, as it looks like they're trying to find their target. There we go. Now they're going to get back onto Minpoike as the dots are going to start rolling out onto him. As we're going to see a bunch of damage. As Fisted Justice on top of it. Even the Holy Paladin getting involved in that CC chain, followed by the bash. But lots of crowd control coming out. But the polymorphs are just not landing. There we go. Trinket followed by a polymorph onto the Holy Paladin of Three Languages. They really need to make something happen with this push.
That was some really great cross CC coming out from Reawakened there, just shutting down Three Languages' push, excuse me. Cervantes now trying to pop his offensive cooldowns and try to get in there to do some damage, but actually in a lot of trouble himself. He dipped out super low there, does get the Execution Sentence as well as that Save by the Light proc. That's going to keep him safe for now, but if they can get some, if Reawakened can get some CC out onto Cavi, he could be in a lot of trouble. They're also now putting a little bit of damage into Fridoris, but now the turnaround onto Minpoike coming out. He's caught in that full Fist of Justice, does not have his Trinket available for another 8 seconds, but it should come up by the time that he really, really needs it. Honestly, Reawakened is looking like they're in a great position right now.
That is a full Deep Freeze, though, coming out from No Lifer, as well as a full Sheep onto Cavi. Cervantes having to use that anti-magic shell as well, but that is the full fear. He's down to 50% HP. This could be very, very scary if they can get some follow-up CC onto Cavi. It's going to be up to No Lifer to get that half Sheep. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it, and Cervantes is going to live for now. Zuni, really, I mean, Reawakened, they're looking so stable right now. The full clone coming out onto No Lifer. Fridoris and Cervantes trying to do their best to sort of diffuse this God comp pressure, because on paper right now, I mean, they're just so far on the back foot, not able to get really any pressure going against his God comp. Minpoike does have his Trinket up once again, as well as some bobs, but Cervantes, the triple fear though coming out from Zuniaki. Cavi caught into that full CC. Cervantes trying to counter pressure a little bit with that AMS, as well as that his offensive cooldown. No Lifer getting down to around 60% HP at the moment, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too scary. Mana could be a big issue here, though. Minpoike caught into that full Hodge. No Lifer getting cloned up offensively. That was a nice clone. He had to actually Trinket that. The stack coming up from Minpoike as well. Zuniaki caught into that full clone. Three Languages doing an excellent job right now. Cavi is going to have his Trinket coming up in a couple seconds, so the next CC chain onto him. He might actually have to Trinket here, caught into that fear, but it looks like Cervantes and Fridoris are completely fine.
Yeah, however, Cavi's wings are down right now, but No Lifer has used one block so far. As you can see, his Cold Snap is on cooldown right now, so that it's going to be a while after this next block. However, he has about a minute left on that Cold Snap, but look at the damage on to Minpoike as that Incarnation comes out again on the Feral, as he is going to have to run away, use those wings yet again, so it looks like he might be fine during this.
The mana difference is real right now, though. Minpoike running on fumes, Cavi at full mana. He's been CC'd, and the problem about CCing the healer is that he's not spending mana in the meantime, so he's got to be feeling pretty confident as long as he can break those CC chains, which he does now have his trinket available, and he will have his bubble in about 2 minutes.
Oh, but No
Lifer gets so low right there, actually holds onto his block for a lot longer than I really thought would have been safe there, but he does end up having to use it.
Saved by the Light and blocked use during that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, but at the same time, Minpoike was able to get a big drink there, getting up to around 50% mana, so sacrificing that ice block, he is going to have Cold Snap up in around 30 seconds, so he should be able to last that long with Minpoike getting that much mana. Fridris using his survival instincts a little bit preemptive there. I like that, trying to reduce some of that incoming damage. Cervantes actually caught into the full sheep. Cavi getting deep there. They need to interrupt the sheep coming out of No Lifer. It looks like they're able to do it, so there's going to be no follow-ups to see, but Fridris still dangerously low. Stamp of the Light proccing onto him and using his second survival instincts, so he's going to have no more shield walls left to prevent some of that incoming damage. No Lifer taking a bit of damage, though. The full Hodge onto Minpoike. They need to get some follow-up onto him, but the full Fear going out onto Caddy. Fridris in big trouble. Caught into the full Hodge. This could be the game. Cavi out of that CC, but he doesn't have any heals, and Fridris is going to go down. Reawakened's going to take the series 2-1, coming back from actually losing the first round, so well done by them.
That was an amazing comeback out of Reawakened. I thought for sure going into this map, like they were going to be on the back foot on Dalaran Sewers here. Just not a great map for them to play against this team in particularly, but they played that flawlessly the entire time. Like even when we started to get a little bit worried about Minpoike's mana, he manages to get out of combat and drink back up to half mana. This is why this team has made...
Now, probably one of the most iconic raids of all time, and one of the most story relevant. Now, Icecrown Citadel was the final raid in Wrath of the Lich King, and also the fortress of the Lich King himself, which was the main villain at the time. Now, in my opinion, this is the only raid and maybe the only expansion so far where you actually had a feel you were fighting the Lich King, and that he was a direct threat to the world, and that every action against Artist kinda made an effect. So it was something completely different. You really just had this feel you were fighting a greater evil, and there was an actual threat to the world. It wasn't just like in Cataclysm. Even though, for example, Deathwing was amazing, he still wasn't that much of a threat, even though lore-wise he was. But in Wrath of the Lich King, there was just this feel about it with Arthas, and the Icecrown Citadel was the peak of it. Now, just entering the Icecrown Citadel was amazing. You had all these giant skeletons and spiders defending the entrance, and then just like with Karazhan, you had this multiple floor thing, which leads to the final encounter, and that was the Lich King. Now, this isn't just a regular raid or just like a minor boss. This is Arthas, I mean the one who destroyed the entirety of Lordaeron and took over Northrend and made the Scourge to what it was. Pretty much a major threat to the entire world and a force of its own, completely splitting apart from the Burning Legion. Now, ever since Warcraft 3, the story has just been building up, so it finally can be finished in this raid. And once you get to the top, you actually had the feeling you were at the top of the world and at the throne of the Lich King, the evil himself. And after a long fight together with Tyrion, Arthas was finally defeated. And thus the entire storyline, which was one of the most important storylines in the entire Warcraft universe, finally ended.
King rules forever, my son.
I see only darkness before me.
And lastly, number 1, Ulduar. Now, the reason why this is number 1 on the list is because it matches all of these qualities that I've considered for this list. So mechanics, atmosphere, and the lore, and also the receival of the community. Now, it came out in a patch during Wrath of the Lich King expansion, and soon it turned out to be, as a lot of people call it, the peak of the World of Warcraft raiding. Now, it is an ancient titan complex located in Storm Peaks, and the entire thing is just an addition to the still ongoing story of the Titans and how they got to this world and how they pretty much made this world as it is. Now, the raid itself though had multiple bosses, and every boss was just like a completely different thing. Now both mechanics wise and environment wise, and the entire thing felt like a part of something. It wasn't just like one of those raids or dungeons where you just go there, fight bosses, just standing there and waiting for you to attack them, and they aren't really nothing more than just obstacles that you have to complete in order to finish the raid. While in Ulduar it was completely different. I mean, you were fighting all these crazy bosses, these constructs, titan watchers, dragons, and all in their own chambers that matched the entire thing. And apart from that, it felt like it was made for the titans. I mean, everything in Ulduar was giant, and you had all these massive doorways and walls that made you feel like an ant in the entire thing. And it was just something different and something that wasn't just a weekly grindfest, and hopefully there will be a raid like this in the future of the game that will be able to actually match the greatness of Ulduar.
Bran Bronzebeard's forces assaulted the gates of Ulduar. They battled the Iron Lords and their cursed minions.
Evasive action! Evasive action!
He won't stop talking about this presence he felt, permeating the great halls, stirring in their minds, chilling their blood. He said, the horror that the Titans imprisoned so long ago, Yogg Saron has awakened.
So that is all I have for this list. Of course, this doesn't mean that the other raids sucked or anything like that. This is just my opinion on them from my own perspective. But anyways, which raids do you like the most and you thought were the best ones in the game? And also give some reasons why. And also don't forget to leave some